Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Weeb Weekly. We have an amazing show for you guys today, but I am joined by two beautiful anime lovers that are going to talk a lot about video games today. Mr. Mizu, Mr. Travis, say hello to the people. How are you doing today?
Hello, everybody. Good to be here. Good to see you guys.
Good to see your majestic faces. How are you doing, Mizu?
I'm doing good. Shalom, everyone. Hello.
Shalom. Hello. It's a high energy day. And of course, before we get into the nitty gritty, boys, let the people know where they can find you.
Please, yes, you can find me on Instagram at TRAVISTHESIBLING and on TikTok at TRAVISTHESIBLING.
You guys can find me on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, all MIZUSHOGUN. And I want to say a quick shout out to all you guys on my Instagram. I hit a milestone for myself. I hit 8,000 followers on
Let's go, man.
IG. I was sitting at 6,000 for like a hot minute until like, I guess 2 videos of mine just blew the hell up. And now I'm at 8,000. So
Let's
I
go.
appreciate
Love to
that.
see it. Love to see it. Dude, that congratulations, bro. Like that.
Thank you.
We all know socials are really wild, so that's a big milestone. Should be celebrated, bro. So yeah, and my socials are just at I'm Tropical Joe on whichever platform you can decide to check us out on. But ladies and gentlemen, it is time to start talking about the major amount of news that we got in the past 2 weeks, and of course, it wouldn't be pop culture if we didn't focus on multiple types of media. So the main thing that we're talking about today is the Sony Investor Showcase, where they revealed some blockbuster news of all the projects that are going to get live action and animated adaptations. We have a lot to cover. Gentlemen, I'm going to run down the list, and you guys are going to let me know what, like, your first thoughts. So, Amazon Prime is out here on a tear. They are absolutely the winners, above and beyond the winners of the rights gifting, not gifting because they paid a lot of money for them, but yes, the rights fight, Amazon won it because they're getting God of War, a TV show for God of War, a Fallout project, not sure if it's a movie or a TV show yet, but it apparently is looking to be a series, Mass Effect, a TV series for that. HBO has The Last of Us with Pedro Pascal playing the role of Joel, and that one we've already seen clips of that. That seems amazing. Netflix is coming in hot because Netflix is getting a Horizon Zero Dawn TV show and a bioshock movie, which is nuts. And then they have Castlevania already and Arcane. So it's the way I see it, it's Prime and Netflix trying to fight it out. Then we also have Twisted Metal, which is being taken care of by Peacock, which has Anthony Mackie in the lead for Twisted Metal. And then Ghost of Tsushima is getting a movie, but we don't know we don't know which streaming service is going to be producing it. But Ghost of Tsushima is confirmed to be having a movie. On the Nintendo side, we already know, and Nintendo and Sega, we also know that Sonic 3 is in development, and then we also have the Mario movie. So we have some Nintendo things going on. And of course, Halo was renewed for season 2 in Paramount Plus. Yay! Okay, so let's talk about the other things. Gentlemen, what did you think about the list?
Halo was renewed? Why?
I have no idea, bro. Money.
Wow.
It has to be money.
I mean, but if it's... Are people watching it?
A lot of people watched it just to see if it was good, and like it's just it felt like a purgatory, bro. It felt like
It's a departure, bro. It does not hold up. In my opinion, I watched it. Yeah, I don't, not a fan too much of it. But one question I have is:
Yes.
Is God of War being animated or is it a live action?
Live action. So God of War is live action.
Really? Okay, so that was the biggest thing. When I heard the announcement, I was excited, but at God of War, I was worried about because I'm like, are they going to do it animated? Because I think personally, it would have worked best animated.
Facts.
Especially you can get away with a lot of the feats that Kratos does.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it live action, then I'm like, granted, I'm still optimistic, but I gotta see how they're gonna do that though.
Because I totally see that, and like going off of that, I just wanted to like put it up for you guys to understand, like to kind of go through, because like in the past, like mythology content was super like huge, especially in like the 60s, the 70s. It was like Clash of the Titans was one of the biggest movies in the 80s, and so like I would be expecting something like Clash of the Titans in that side of way, but like the series has evolved, right? It's not just like brawler, it's not just like big monster fighting. There's a huge compelling story about a father and son relationship in God of War, and of course we're getting the game in less than 6 months, like the second game, which is touted to be like one of the best sequels ever. But I wanted to get both of your opinions, like which one of those projects stood out to you the most?
Okay, the Sonic one stood out to me the most.
Okay, Sonic 3? Sonic 3?
Yeah,
Nice.
Sonic 3, the knuckle spin out, whatever it is, like that 100% for. I'm here for the greatest video game trilogy of all time. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. It's a beautiful moment. I've played Sonic since I was a kid, and I'm happy that it's getting the love that it deserves. But I'm not the happiest of. I think there's certain games that we shouldn't bring to film.
Okay.
Because I feel like there's games and then there's interactive film. Like, there's certain games that are so cinematic. I'm like, this is a movie that I can just move around in, really. And I feel like if you're bringing them to film, I feel like it's a reboot. It's in the same vein as a reboot. There's certain games that are like that. It's God of War for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That was a cinematic masterpiece.
Okay.
It had great direction, whatever. That's a movie. Mass Effect is a movie. That's like a movie you could play. I'm against certain ones getting a film adaptation, but the one I'm most excited about, definitely Sonic.
Okay, Mizu.
That's funny that you mentioned that, because back to like when I said my original question, I was mostly worried a little bit. I'm excited about God of War, but I was only worried because I don't know if it was going to be live action or animated, because I think it'll work best animated compared to Fallout and Mass Effect. I think they would work best as live actions. I can see them both being live actions and plausible. I mean, if they're doing Halo, I mean, it's Mass Effect around the corner. It can work. Same thing with Fallout.
If they follow the source material, if they follow the source material. Just saying.
I mean, basically what I'm trying to say is that both of them seem more plausible to do in live action, especially Fallout, since it has that whole rustic, apocalyptic 1950s vibe to it. So I'm down for that. God of War, I was just a little worried because, Kratos does some crazy amount of feats in the stuff that he does and the stuff that happens in there, fighting gods, titans, creatures of all kinds. And it sounds like my next question was, are they going to start it off with him and Atreus from God of War 4? Or are they going to start from the beginning?
That's the big question. We still don't know.
Question. I feel like they would have to start from the beginning. Like, I think this is also a ploy to get more people into the God of War franchise. So I would think that they would have to be starting from the beginning. It'd be a bold move to start like
in Ragnarok.
In Ragnarok, that'd be a bold move.
I agree. What were you going to say, Misu?
I can see them kind of getting away with it if they kind of open it up with God of War 4 with him or Atreus, because you could say that it definitely cuts off. Like, it's a whole huge transition from God of War 1 through 3. Like, it doesn't have the same like feel to it as the original God of War, because Kratos is so different, and you get nuggets of his past here or there. But I'm not gonna lie, if you're a new gamer, I would argue that you could just get into God of War 4 without playing the original games, because it's that. Yeah. Because the plot works for it, and the plot works well with it, and knowing the previous games is just a little bit more knowledge for yourself. Mm-hmm. So I think it is plausible. So I won't be surprised if they do go that route out the gate with him and Atreus. But like you said, you don't know, so we'll just have to find out there. But if they start from the beginning, I want to know what the rating is on this show, because that the beginning is going to be freaking crazy.
Yeah.
Who's playing Kratos?
We don't know. We could have a whole ass debate on who should play Kratos, bro. Because I'm in the Momoa camp. Like Jason Momoa makes sense because the thing is that like I've been thinking of like because obviously you want to keep it like close to the source material, I guess. And like for example, you could get a Greek actor to play him, but at the same time, Kratos is that type of hero, anti-hero, definitely anti-hero. That obviously you can choose any race to play him because his ashes, like the ashes of his family, basically make his skin white. So it's like as long as you get him the white skin, like canonically, any race of human can play him. So and of course the gods in all mythologies take on different forms. So that's another topic that we can discuss for a different day because of the Percy Jackson series, which just started filming as well. Like, because people are like always like, oh, it should be like super accurate to the people that like are playing. And I'm like, I agree, especially like for mythologies for a specific region. So for example, if we're talking Egyptian mythology, we should ideally have people of African descent or African Americans, let's say, that you can get to play these gods. But at the same time, I am a big fan of having the best person play the role. I don't know, like what you guys think.
Oh yeah, absolute facts.
I agree.
But one thing I wanted to say with your pick of Jason Momoa, are you ready to see him bald though?
Right, that's all his power.
Are you ready to see Jason Momoa be a bald man?
He got the beard.
He got the beard. I will give you that. He got the beard. But Jason Momoa bald?
No, it won't save him. That's
think about it.
Save him.
Look, let's be honest here. You saw him in Dune without his beard.
Yeah. It was rough.
It didn't work.
It just didn't work. It just didn't work.
It didn't work. I was sitting here like, I'm not gonna lie to you. A little side note here. When I was watching Dune and I saw him in there, I had to think for a second who the hell that was for a second. I was like, who is that? Oh crap, that's Jason Momoa. But my little quick pick would be the actual person who voices him, and especially in actual God of War 4. Yeah, because if you've seen what he actually looked like, this man is built. This man is jacked.
I agree. The only thing that I would say as a counter argument is he is getting close to like his 60s, which is like the only
he is pushing up age.
Yes, so, like because I thought like, okay, that'd be fun because like it'd be the voice of him. Yeah, he's 57. And while he does, he has the voice. He has the best voice, in my opinion. And obviously, like, looks jacked. It's kind of like those situations where, like, oh, if the series does well, do we think he's going to be, like, hype to play this monster of a character for, like, 15 more years? Because he did say that, like, doing Kratos, especially in the first game, took a lot out of him, like, mentally and physically because of where he had to go in order to like get those moments of pure like ferocity and trying to like fight for his son. If you see that, I highly recommend that you both see like the making of documentary featurette for God of War, because one of the most important scenes in the game, he's literally like trembling while he's crying, delivering the lines, because he's like, yeah, sometimes like I go into dark places thinking about his role as a father to his kids personally, and like he had to stop the interview because he was just like, that's how deeply meaningful this role is to him. So I'm like, damn, bro, could you imagine somebody saying, yeah, we're gonna have you doing that for like 10 more years? Are you down to do that till you're 67? I'm like, ugh, rough scenes.
And you know what? That's why my quick pick would be Dave Bautista.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I totally forgot about him. That would work. Dave Bautista.
Perfect.
Fandom put out a graphic, like with popular picks to play him, and I would say the best one that looks like looking the part, actually Triple H from the WWE.
Oh snap! I haven't heard that name in forever. Triple H.
They literally they did a rendering of him with the beard, the ashes, the tattoo, and then like the bald head. And I'm like, this dude looks like Kratos. I'm not even gonna cap. Like Triple H can pull it off. I just don't know if he has the acting chops to do it. Also, another thing, let's see, Triple H. These are all like super, like pretty old actors.
Yeah, Triple H is older.
He's 52. He's 52. So it's like it's kind of roughly the same camp, right?
Not too bad.
So if you're going older Kratos, makes sense because Kratos is older in these sequel games. But if you're going young Kratos,
no, this is Kratos. No. This is actually crazy. Yeah, I'm looking at it. This is nuts.
Show it to Mizu. Wow. Show it to Mizu.
Oh wow!
He looks like him.
It's Kratos. It's Kratos. It is
crazy.
He looks like him. Like, bro's been training his entire life for this moment, bro.
Yeah, especially if they start off with God of War 4. Like, he already looks like a freaking Viking Northman already.
Yeah,
and he has a great voice for it too. Like,
yes, and he's got the personality to pull it off. I like for the one-liners, the quotes. Definitely trust him to do that. I just don't know, like, because it's a weird mix. Because Kratos is that weird mix of like hulking monster, like action role, and then super deep and complex, like stoic person trying to open himself up to the new role of being a father. So that would be my top pick for like the game that I'm most excited for, because like God of War is my favorite game of all time. But I'm gonna give you guys a surprise pick. I think the one that I am most excited for personally, Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima is going to be like nuts, because so the director has already been confirmed, and he said like this is one of my favorite games. So he's played the games obviously, and he said like he's heavily influenced by Akira Kurosawa, who is the main inspiration and mentor for like George Lucas, for example, who did Star Wars based off of like his old samurai movies. And I'm like, Ghost of Tsushima was again another single player storytelling masterpiece. And this is a fun fact for anybody that has played the game. There are multiple modes in which you can play Ghost of Tsushima. You can play it in English with the subtitles and then like just in color, or you can play it in black and white like it's a Kurosawa movie in English, or you can do Japanese in color or Japanese black and white. So you can literally play it as if it's like a 50s like Kurosawa movie. And I'm like, bro, if you're able to pull this off well, Ghost of Tsushima could lend itself to start that like elite storytelling for like. So what I want, right, is for these projects to transcend it's a video game adaptation, right? It's a video game movie or a video game TV show. It's like, no, it's a TV show based on a video game that's just elite. Because if you think about it, Fallout, if you land Fallout correctly, that's like the second coming of The Walking Dead, with even more possibilities, because like there's monsters, there's like radioactive lizards, like like a Fallout TV show could do well. Mass Effect is essentially like a huge, like grandiose version of like Halo mixed with Star Trek. If you're being picky, I think the one that's going to be the hardest to adapt is probably going to be Horizon Zero Dawn, because Horizon includes a lot of like robots and robotics, and those. Yeah, it's like that's a lot of like she's riding like giraffes made out of like metal part. Like it's just like a cybernetic organisms that are like it kind of peaks the uncanny valley, and also there's like augmentations on humans' like heads and arms and stuff like that. So I think the hardest one to adapt would be Horizon Zero Dawn. But again, after hearing what Mizu said, I would love for it to be animated similar to like Love, Death, and Robots style. That would be lit. That would be lit.
Listen, yes. You guys seen Love, Death, the new season of Love, Death, and Robots?
I saw all of it. It's amazing.
It gave me faith in CGI. Like I've never been. The first episode, I'm like, I'm if they could do that for Horizons, I'm down for it. Like it looked beyond. It looked real. Like actually, like there were moments where I had to remind myself I'm watching CGI.
Yeah. Especially with snow in the desert. You haven't seen it?
Not the new season, no.
Okay. But you've seen the other ones.
I've seen the previous ones, yes.
Okay. Do you guys remember Snow in the Desert? The one with the man that's like immortal, the one with the white hair, the one that with the really, really crispy CGI. I'm like, if you can pull that off with Horizon, that's literally like that's game changing right there.
Yeah. I agree.
It's funny enough because I have my question on God of War. I didn't say my God of War was going to be the one I picked.
Okay, Ben. What's your pick?
No. Because the one I picked, because when I heard it, I was like, yes. I've been on a campaign for this one in particular, and that is BioShock. When I heard that BioShock was getting a movie, I was like, is this? Please don't play with me right now. Are you serious? BioShock, especially if they're going up the first game. has so much potential to be a great movie or even just a TV show. And the fact that they're doing that is amazing. Because if those who haven't played it, that whole concept of the game, it's pretty much about, it's based in the 50s, an underwater city that was supposed to be some type of utopia, but everything goes, left field. And now it's in this whole, it has a mix of sci-fi mixed with horror, mixed with psychological horror. BioShock is freaking amazing. And just coming for someone who's not a big fan of horror-ish games. I don't like playing those kind of games. It's not for me. Until BioShock came to the picture, I was like, oh yes, with the good amount of lore with it. And all the moral questions that it brings up. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a banger if done well.
Would you kindly square up?
Yes. Exactly what I thought about that. I was like, would you kindly? Those who are BioShock fans will know what that means.
But I think that's where my real fear is.
Okay.
Is it going to be done? Could we trust them, right? Because with Halo, we were sitting here and we were like, listen, Halo had a plot. If you do it right, it could have went to the moon.
I'm gonna just put this in the air. Oh. It is made by Netflix, and Netflix has landed the two best adaptations of video games, at least so far, with Arcane and Castlevania.
True, but Netflix as of late, right after Netflix as of late, they've just been making wild decisions. They've cut their animation department's funding,
which is nuts. After Love, Death, and Robots, I'm like, why?
Arcane too,
Arcane, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, you venturing into this new anime territory. Why are you going to cripple yourself like this for the thing that's doing the most for you? It doesn't make any sense. So that's why I'm iffy on it. Netflix, even though they've had two bangers, it's 2 out of 2. I don't know.
Okay. With that being said, gentlemen, I think it's a perfect time to segue into the Stack 'em Up because it's based around this question. So you picked which one are you most excited for? Which one do you think is going to be the best? Like the best one out of these? It's a different ball game. Which one do you think is going to be the best adaptation? Which there's a lot of oh my god.
No, but that's such a loaded question because let's say if we think one's going to be good and then we think another one's going to be trash and it ends up being the opposite.
True. But I think there's a good amount of you can guess which one is going to be or which one lends itself to being better for which medium given the one that they have. So I'm doing the random name wheel. Again, let's do a little round of applause from our boy Mizu winning the first one for season 2. He absolutely crushed it. You guys crushed it on the voting. We had 3,000 votes again, so thank you guys so much. But y'all gave this man 82% for the best Phase 4 project being Spider-Man No Way Home. We were meddling for scraps, Travis and I. It was rough, but hey, it was a good choice, Mr. Mizu.
Thank you.
All right, so we are doing the name picker. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Let's see.
Please, come on.
Oh, it is your boy. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna be? Oh my god, I'm going first. Okay, let's see who's second. Who is second?
Come on.
It is Mizu.
Oh my god.
It is Mizu.
Even then, it's just
there's so many.
One of our
picks
picks
so
many.
Okay.
You know what? I was gonna say. You know what's another one? I'm surprised none of them have got their hands on yet. Is Red Dead. Can you imagine if they did Red Dead?
Yeah.
As a show or movie, I think it worked both ways. Show or movie. That would be insane if they did Red Dead.
Yes.
That is the only one that's a really cinematic game where I'll be like, that's one I'd actually like to see. Fully be a show.
And Hollywood likes cowboy movies. Hollywood loves cowboy movies.
They do that well.
Westerns.
Yeah, they do it well.
All right. Oh, another one that I forgot to mention, Gran Turismo. If you're a car lover, Gran Turismo is also getting an adaptation. We just don't know which streaming service is going to get it.
A racing game?
Yeah, bro.
Was there a plot to Gran Turismo?
like there were some like you could like take your car out like through the city or like the specific region you were in, kind of like Forza had a better story because Forza you could like be in like Brazil or Mexico or something like that, and you can like ride around different areas of the city and like go into like street racing or actual races like in a circuit and stuff like that. So that was cool, but that kind of gets itself into the GTA camp, and I'm like GTA would be amazing as a TV series. I'm not gonna cap, but also
with the group.
Yeah, but like you kind of have to. Yeah, San Andreas, bro. Yes, GTA San Andreas, bro. Oh shit, here we go again, dude.
Wait, but like, so there's no real plot to Gran Turismo. It's just
not
like
really.
Here's the thing. I'll say with that. Sometimes games like that, they can either make or break. They can break terribly because, you know, there's a game with relatively no plot, but it gives the creators enough creative room to form something out of it. I mean, I'll say, look at Arcane. Granted, yes, League of Legends had some lore to it, but it was all choppy all over the place. Some of the characters, like background was whatever, and then Arcane shows up and then just went off the rails with it to a point where even the people who play the game love it, because even to the point where people actually prefer the backstories of the Arcane versions of the characters than the actual video game. I'm one of them. Victor, if those who know who that character, Victor in the games is trash. I cannot get behind him. But in the show, I was like, I love this version of Victor. I love these versions of the characters. I want them to reflect that. And a lot of people, surprisingly, you know, the League of Legends fandom is freaking toxic as hell. If they agree that, oh yeah, Arcane is great, they should bring those stories over here. And so I think there's potential when you have games that have very vague plots. But again, it's a mixed bag because it can either break it terribly, catastrophically, or it could do something magical.
Me too. That was a fantastic example, man. Sorry to cut you off.
No. What I was gonna say is like Mizu, like just go picking off the back of that. Like, let's just appreciate the fact that Netflix took the most toxic fandom and united it to the point that everybody's just like, yes, we want more. We all love this. And then Paramount took the most diehard fandom in Halo and just put them all against this show. It's just like, no, kill it with fire. It's already dead. No, it's crazy to think that like that can be the effect, right? Of these, because these games have a lot of rich storytelling already made. Just like you don't have to follow it like line by line, but come on, like if the showrunner, if the director, if the like writers haven't even played the game, I'm like, or not even like playing the game, like you don't even have a consultant that has played the game writing the story. It's like, dog, that's kind of a red flag. I don't know.
Watch the YouTube cutscenes. That's like you could go on YouTube and watch cutscenes of the thing. Like, okay, this is the general gist of the game. Let's turn it into a movie,
bro. If you take a weekend, and you go like, if you look up God of War video game movie, which is just like the cutscenes without any of like the major gameplay, that'll still be like 15 hours. That's less than a full season of like Law and Order or something like that. Like it's I mean, you can just enjoy it. But then again, we are digressing. The question for the Stack 'em Up is simple: which of the video game adaptations that we have already do you guys think is going to be the best? I could go with my favorite one, but I am putting my another one we forgot. Resident Evil's getting a Netflix show. Yes, that's another one. Sidebar, yes, because that's important. Okay, Resident Evil. There's a lot of suspense for this one. Netflix series. So we saw the first teases for it because we already have the trailer. But okay, so I think it's a different character inside the Resident Evil world. So it's just like a different set of characters in Raccoon City, which could be nice. But like there's people, like the Umbrella Corporation is there, but the main characters are Jade Wesker, played by Ella Balinska, and then Albert Wesker, her father. It's basically like a father-daughter relationship while they're trying to survive Raccoon City with Umbrella Corp on the edge. So I'm like, So I don't know how I feel. But my pick, going off the zombies vibe, I think the best adaptation is going to be The Last of Us.
Wow.
I think the best one is going to be The Last of Us on HBO. At least from what I've seen in a couple of like the on-set videos, they are literally adapting some of the coolest cinematic scenes and gameplay parts of the games. And I trust Pedro Pascal with my life after The Mandalorian. And I know that they're starting from the beginning, right? They're not starting from Last of Us Part 2, which is hugely polarizing. So I think it makes sense to give it that benefit of the doubt and be like, okay, HBO, in my opinion, does zombies particularly well. We've seen what they can get to scale wise in terms of what's it called, Game of Thrones, because the White Walkers are essentially like they're just zombies. So
Yes.
so I think visually and tonally and story wise, it's going to be a more mature adaptation, not necessarily something that's like a video game show. It's more going to be like an actual zombie survival show, which I know we have a lot of those. But The Last of Us offers a cool story that is one of the best. It's one of the best story games of all time. So I'm gonna give my pick to The Last of Us. Mizu, what's your pick? Which one do you think is going to be the best adaptation out of these?
At first, I just want to say that's a good pick, especially when I heard that Pedro Pascal is behind it too. I'm like, oh yeah, that I could see that going far. Of course, and you brought it up. The one thing that might change people is if they adapt The Last of Us Part 2, like you said, because it's very polarizing. Oh man, the backlash on that one is crazy. But maybe they can fix it up a little bit. Who knows? It may actually improve upon it. You never know. But just like you, I could go a different route, but I'm going to go with what I'm passionate about. And the one I would say that could be an absolute banger is BioShock. BioShock, again, a lot of people have been waiting, especially BioShock fans have been waiting for a BioShock movie or a TV show for a long while, because a lot of us believe that it could be adapted into that and it would do amazing. Especially, again, if you're into that, kind of, you could say a post-apocalyptic underwater city that is filled with nothing but, people hyped up on this drug called Adam, and they are out of their freaking minds. You got some people who are trying to get out of there and, sort of resistance movement. You got the creator of the city, Mr. Rapture himself, Mr.
Andrew Ryan.
Andrew Ryan, and trying to get all of that together. I think that it would do wonders, especially if they go out the first game. I think it will work best if they do the first game. Though I love the second game a little bit more, but I don't know how they're going to, translate, the Big Daddy, and that's the name of these scuba men or cyborg, whatever. We still don't even know what the hell they are, to be honest.
Like a cyborg companion, let's just say.
Cyborg companions, and then, of course the little sisters. Oh my God, that would be amazing. But I would say BioShock could be a banger. Who's doing it? Was it Netflix, you said?
So it's going to be a Netflix movie. Horizon is doing a show. Netflix is doing a movie for BioShock.
Wow.
And I think it'll be a little bit more plausible too, compared to Horizon Zero Dawn with all that CGI and all that robotics. Well, you can set it underwater. You can there's ways you can get around that and do some cool camera angle tricks and stuff like that. So especially, again, the overall plot of it is amazing, and especially if you never played the game, it's such a treat to watch. So my pick is BioShock.
Oof. Travis, you have a lot of options.
Yeah,
you have a lot of options.
And they all don't even matter, because there's only one. There's only one that I think guaranteed is going to take it home, and that is Sonic.
Okay, Sonic 3.
Sonic 3. Sonic 1 and 2, the most profitable video game movies of all time.
Factual.
The fandom overall is the happiest that they've ever been with any other video game property. When we talk about the note they left off on in Sonic 2 and what they're about to, they've proven already that this director is not just a director, he's a fan. he was such a fan. He did something we've never seen before, where he delayed the movies just to get it right, just so the fandom could love it. And it was a good bet. It's a good bet. The amount of Easter eggs that are in it, the way that they tied in so many of these different games, like Sonic Adventure, the way that they tied in Sonic Heroes and so many other Sonic properties. It's unbelievable what they've accomplished. So I have the utmost faith that Sonic 3 is going to be a home run. It's definitely, I think there's a chance, a gamble, that other things are going to be deeper, like maybe Ghost of Tsushima. The way you described it sounds nuts. But what they're going to do for Sonic 3, who we're going to see without spoiling anything, who we're going to see? Nah, man. It ain't nothing.
The movie's out on DVD. You can spoil it already.
Oh, okay. All right, fine. Yo, Shadow?
He's that man. He's that
Shadow,
guy.
come on. We have the team now. Knuckles, Tails, Sonic. We're gonna learn way more. We could possibly learn way more about the echidnas now, especially since Knuckles is gonna get his own spin-off thing. It's gonna go off. Because it's a legacy show. Last thing, because it's a part of a legacy. There's so much more hype, and there's so much more that is going to be delivered, I think, emotionally, that I don't think the other ones are going to compare.
One question that I have on that one. Okay. So let's close out the stack 'em up and keep the flow going. So again, you can vote for the stack 'em up on my Instagram. I'm Tropical Joe. We love your support. Thank you guys so much to anybody watching us and listening to us. Thank you guys so much for downloading the pod. You guys have absolutely crushed every single one of the votings, and that helps us a lot, trying to decide what topics to cover for the stack 'em up, because you guys seem to love the debates around it so much. So thank you guys so much. We will be posting this as soon as the episode goes live on my Instagram stories, and then you can vote for whichever one you want, which is the best, which one is going to be the best video game project, video game live action adaptation project, or animated. You could have chosen Arcane, but we're gonna give you our best 3. So we got BioShock, the movie produced by Netflix, The Last of Us, the TV show made by HBO Max, and then we got Sonic 3, made by, I think it's a Paramount. Paramount, I think is the one. Yeah, Paramount. Yeah, they have the Sonic rings. Yes, a Paramount. Going off of that, I wanted to ask you, because I think we covered it once, like vaguely in one of the other episodes, but Jeff Fowler, who's directed the first 2 games, publicly said that he wants to make a Smash movie. He wants to direct a Smash movie, and I'm like, ooh, this is very interesting, because I'm just looking at the list of franchises that we have here, and I'm like, the fact that we don't have live action projects for these is nuts. But if you think about it, Castlevania is already there, solid adaptation. Pokemon, the animes are the anime movies tend to be like hit or miss, but it's overall the animes have had a solid reception. But dude, Animal Crossing, Zelda doesn't have one, bro. Zelda has one from the 80s, but like we still don't have a good Street Fighter one. No. Kirby, Metroid, dude, Metroid itself.
Yo,
Metroid would be.
I hate that you brought that up, because now I'm angry that why haven't we gotten a Metroid movie, or at least a show?
Because we're getting a Mario one. We are getting a Mario one, but I don't think it's gonna be like that big of a thing. It's gonna be like Garfield. I think it's gonna be like Garfield style, but they could prove me wrong. Would you guys like to see a Smash movie?
Absolutely. And Jeff Fowler is the perfect person for it.
Yes.
Perfect person. So what I was actually just looking up, because I forgot the name of it, but in Brawl there was, in their story mode, there was something called Subspace Emissary.
Yeah.
That to me was the best story mode game in the entire Smash franchise. It was so interesting, and even though no one had any verbal dialogue, it was this very interesting kind of journey where you're seeing all of these characters stumble upon each other, and it interacted and flowed really nicely, in my opinion. And if he did something like Subspace Emissary, brought that to life, or honestly, at this point, I would take whatever he does. Like, whatever decision he goes, I will follow this man into the sun. Like, I think he's earned it.
I was gonna say that if you brought that idea up to me maybe like a year or 5 years ago, I would have been like, hell no, that's not gonna happen. That is possible. But we got, hear me out with this one. We got Space Jam 2, granted bad, but
bad.
the ability that they were able to put all that IP in different versions, whether it would be 2D, 3D, all in the same movie like that, was plausible. And then, of course, you haven't seen it already. The Chip and Dale movie on Disney Plus.
Oof, so good.
Freaking, after seeing that too, I'm just like, so now you're saying the possibility of a Smash movie. Now I'm like, oh yeah, that could work. I can see that happening now. I can absolutely see that happening. Especially, it all depends on the characters that they get in there. It could work. And now, especially if they had like, you know, if they use actual Sonic, the Sonic that we know, like wouldn't it be cool if they actually use the Paramount movie Sonic and he gets wrapped up into this? It will be a cool kind of connection in a way. But it all depends on if they're all owned by the same IP though. Whoever company is running it. And they all have different companies running it, then there's that whole trouble. But I don't know. It could work. I definitely agree. It could work.
I feel like as long as Nintendo gives the okay, because I mean Nintendo did give the okay for Mario. Like I mean, just the fact that we're getting a Mario movie is after the one that we got in the 90s. Like
no, because the reason I'm saying that is because I'm thinking really huge is that Nintendo puts out, you know, Sonic, the Sonic movies, and then instead they're doing the Mario movie.
Yeah.
And let's say if they did do an Animal Crossing show, a little show for people who like it, and another thing for Zelda. What if they all got from those different like those parts and they all put them all in the movie together?
Bro, what if they do Detective Pikachu? What if we get Ryan Reynolds as Detective Pikachu as the Pikachu in the game?
That would be
amazing. Mario, no.
This could be Avengers Endgame level if they do
That's what I'm saying.
You're right, yeah.
Bro, those are the most profitable franchises of all time, just like period. I mean, like the Pokemon is the most popular thing on the planet, like in terms of money every year. Yeah. So,
do you guys? I looked up the number. You guys know that Pokemon made $110 billion.
Yeah,
like
it's.
I try to compare like if that's all the money if you took all the money of the MCU and you took all the money of Harry Potter, all of it, theaters, books, all of it, you put it together, that's not even half. That's not even half of what Pokemon made alone. It's wild.
Dog, think about it. Like you pull a Charizard, like I mean, if like just the fact that you need to pay thousands of dollars just to get a pack. But think about it. If you have a card from like when you were like 5 years old, you could pay your entire tuition and your brother's like at the same time with the money that you get from one trading card. Like that's how popular it is, right? And so that's what I'm saying. Like a Smash movie would be a hit, and it would also add that layer of storytelling because. For those of you that have played the story mode, the game director Masahiro Sakurai, he's put himself basically his experience dealing with these characters in the game because like the hand, like the hand is like which is the final boss is technically like him. It's the person that's like writing and creating all of these characters like fighting together, created this franchise that has been like loved and beloved for like decades now. But still is like a haunting thing for somebody that's like, oh, this game has just gone like beyond the scope of like, oh, I just made a video game that people like. It's just that like I'm officially always tied to a project like this, and like it would be interesting to see like Masahiro just like writing like sketching out something, and then the book comes to life. Let's say like the book comes to life of having all these characters like pop to life, and he's like, how does he deal with like this actually being real, with Smash being real? And I'm like, that seems like a compelling story to me. I don't know about y'all.
No, that's good. That's good.
You see, they should hire me. They should hire me, bro, because I've played the games. Paramount, Halo. But yeah, it do be like that. I feel like there's just so much we could talk about just with these like game adaptations, because I mean, we still even haven't touched the fact that like Arcane is getting a second season, and Castlevania is still going on. Like, I mean, I don't even know where to begin with those two.
Yeah, so Castlevania has been greenlit for another season, but here's the thing: it's not going to be the same group of people or even the same time period. It's going to be a different time period, a different group of them. I believe it's going to be based off of the main character. I've already forgot his name. The main character.
Richter. Well, no, not Richter.
Trevor Belmont.
Trevor.
Trevor Belmont. It's gonna be based off his grandson, I believe.
Oh yeah, Richter. Yeah, exactly. The people that we see in Smash. Yeah.
Yep, and it's gonna be in the 1800s.
Richter's his grandson.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, this is awesome.
So that's gonna be around that. And then Arcane, I can't wait. Arcane was it was so random. It came out of nowhere. League of Legends having its own show, and especially the way they ended it. I need to know what happens next. Because now I'm so interested in the politics of all this stuff and what Jinx just did. I'm like, bro, Jinx is like, and I hate to say, I'm like, yo, Jinx is being a Jinx. What the hell?
Yeah.
We had so much progress and now it's going down the drain.
I was scared. I was scared for a while that they were going to cancel it after they after they did the chops to the animation department.
Yeah.
But I'm so happy it's coming back.
If they cancel Arcane, like that is the biggest fattest L I've ever seen.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie.
But Netflix has taken L's like this. Like when they canceled, oh my god, we could just have a whole podcast about the stuff they've canceled that is like, are you crazy? They've canceled Sense8. That was nuts.
Oh,
Sense8, yes.
Yeah, they canceled Sense8, and then it took pure audience power to bring back a movie. They didn't even bring back a season, and they kind of crammed a season into a movie. But whatever. They canceled Get Down. Oh my god, they've canceled so many bangers. Like, so if they canceled Arcane, I'd kind of just be like, yeah, they suck.
Another L.
Another L. Another L.
I'll be like, yeah, like you're never getting me back with that. That's an L. That's a huge L.
I feel that. I feel that. Now that we're talking about that, like, I would love to see another Pokemon movie. Like, I know that Detective Pikachu technically is not like that. So that rendition of the Pokemon universe makes sense because like that's what I want to see. I want to see people interacting with their Pokemon and like having them be a part of their life. And you can discuss so much, but bro, just like the fact that the anime has discussed the ramifications of like ultimate power of like super mega corps trying to like exploit Pokemon, that's something that like makes sense, especially in our society. Like, what if the billionaires of the world decided to get legendaries? I'm like, everybody would be screwed, bro. Like that's a storyline that like can bring a lot of people to the theater. Besides the fact that it's like the most famous franchise on planet Earth right now. Like Pokemon Go had people like jumping off of bridges just to find a Snorlax, bro. Like it's crazy. Like, dude, it's nuts. People were running through the streets like trying to find special Pokemon. It's nuts.
Here's the thing, which is sad though too. It's kind of hard to mess up Pokemon. So when it's like Pokemon, you can even make a good story even without Ash. Like there's some stories that don't involve Ash that are great. So to me, I don't know. Like Pokemon is like there's so many games like what we talked about earlier that are just so easy that it's just impossible. Like you have to be really trying hard to mess this up.
I feel like what would take the franchise to a whole nother level is if they adapted the newest Pokemon game to screen, the one that's about like the origin where you have
Arceus. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
That would be cool.
Sorry, I just got really excited when you said that. I was like, bro, that's a lot.
No, because like even when you were describing it, I feel like the one thing that we've never gotten in Pokemon media isn't a fleshed out origin of like the whole thing of like Pokeballs and all of it. And if we had that, like that would be amazing. I feel like so many people know Pokemon, but so many people don't really watch it like that. Like they'll play the games maybe, but it's been such a long lasting franchise. Some people are kind of just like, whatever, too much to get into. But if we had like an origin of just Pokemon in general, I feel like that'd go to the moon.